Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Ninuya English Podcast. If this is your first time joining us, we're so happy to have you here. This is the perfect place to practice your English through simple, natural, and everyday conversations that are easy to understand.
That's right. Whether you're studying at home, driving, relaxing, or just taking a short break, thank you for spending your time learning English with us today. We hope this episode helps you feel more confident speaking English in real-life situations.
Before we begin, don't forget to support our channel by clicking the like button and subscribing, because it really helps us continue creating more easy English content for you.
And make sure you turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. We upload new English conversations regularly to help you improve your listening, vocabulary, and speaking skills step by step.
I'm Emma, and today we're talking about something that sounds simple but can actually change the way you live your life, and that is the power of not reacting. We all face moments where someone says something rude, disappointing, or hurtful, and our first instinct is often to respond immediately. But what if the strongest thing we can do in that moment is actually nothing?
That's such an interesting topic, Emma, because I think almost everyone has experienced that moment when emotions take over. Maybe someone sends a message that annoys you, maybe someone criticizes you unfairly, or maybe a stranger says something online that instantly makes your blood boil. And before you even realize what's happening, your fingers are typing a response or your mouth is already speaking. But the truth is, reacting immediately often feels good for a moment, yet later we realize it usually creates more problems than solutions.
Exactly. And I know this because I used to be that person. Honestly, I reacted to everything. If someone ignored my message, I would overthink it. If someone said something rude, I felt this urgent need to defend myself. If someone disagreed with me, I immediately wanted to prove that I was right. At the time, I thought I was being strong, but in reality, I was just emotionally exhausted because I was giving every little situation permission to control my mood.
And that's such an important realization because many people confuse reacting with strength. They think, if I stay silent, people will think I'm weak, or if I don't defend myself immediately, I'll lose. But what I've learned over time is that emotional control is actually much harder than emotional reaction. It's easy to shout, easy to argue, easy to send that angry text, but it takes real maturity to stop, breathe, and choose your response carefully.
Yes, and I remember the exact moment I realized this. Someone once made a comment about me that was unfair and honestly pretty hurtful, and I was so angry that I immediately wanted to respond and explain myself. But for some reason, I decided to wait. I told myself, Emma, don't say anything right now. Just wait. And after an hour, my anger had already gone down. After a day, I realized it didn't matter as much as I thought it did. That moment taught me something important. Emotions are temporary, but the consequences of our reactions can last much longer.
That's so true. I had a similar experience at work. A colleague criticized one of my ideas during a meeting, and I felt embarrassed because it happened in front of everyone. My first instinct was to defend myself immediately, to explain why my idea was good and why he was wrong. But instead, I stayed quiet. I listened. I let the meeting continue. Later, when my emotions had settled, I realized some of his criticism was actually useful. And because I hadn't reacted emotionally, I was able to respond professionally instead of turning it into a personal conflict.
And that's the magic of pausing, isn't it? Because when we react emotionally, we usually react from ego. We want to protect ourselves, protect our pride, protect our image. But when we pause, we respond from wisdom. We ask better questions like, does this really matter? Or, is this worth my peace? And honestly, most of the time the answer is no.
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned as an adult is that not every problem deserves my attention. Not every opinion deserves my response. Not every insult deserves my energy. Sometimes the smartest thing you can do is simply let people misunderstand you, let them judge you, and move on with your life.
That can be difficult, though, because naturally we want to be understood. We want people to know our side of the story. But peace often requires accepting that not everyone will understand you. And that's okay. You don't need to attend every argument you're invited to.
That's such a great sentence. You don't need to attend every argument you're invited to. I think many people need to hear that, especially in today's world where everything feels so reactive. Social media teaches us to respond instantly. Messaging apps make us feel pressure to reply immediately. Everyone expects instant opinions, instant emotions, instant reactions, but sometimes wisdom moves slower.
Yes, and silence is often misunderstood. People assume silence means fear or weakness, but silence can actually be confidence. It can mean, I'm secure enough that I don't need to prove anything to you. That's powerful.
And there's another important point. Sometimes people want your reaction. Some people intentionally provoke others because they want attention, drama, or control. They say something rude because they want to see you lose your temper. But when you stay calm and don't react, suddenly they lose their power.
Exactly. It's almost like winning without fighting. Your peace becomes your strength. Your calm becomes your answer.
Of course, we should also say that not reacting doesn't mean allowing disrespect. It doesn't mean being passive or letting people treat you badly. You can absolutely set boundaries and speak up, but the difference is doing it calmly, not emotionally.
Yes, that's the key. Not reacting means choosing your response instead of letting your emotions choose it for you. It means saying, I'll decide how I handle this, instead of letting anger decide for you.
And honestly, life becomes much lighter when you learn that. You sleep better. Your relationships improve. Your mind feels quieter because you stop carrying unnecessary emotional battles.
And maybe that's the biggest lesson today. Peace feels better than being right. Winning an argument might satisfy your ego for a few minutes, but protecting your peace can improve your entire life.
So if someone says something upsetting today, maybe your first instinct will be to react. But try pausing for just a moment. Take a breath. Ask yourself if this really deserves your energy.
And remember, sometimes the most powerful response is no response at all. Silence can protect your peace in ways that words never could.
Thank you so much for listening and practicing your English with us today. See you next time.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us again for another real English conversation. Bye, everyone.